Today's news. What's preventing Azerbaijan from joining NATO? Azerbaijani Popular Front Party Youth Committee submits inquiry to the Ministry of Youth and Sport. Transparency in public utility supply. A roundtable on NATO, the political and military alliance of the 21st century, was held today, organized by the National and International Studies Center and the Romanian Embassy. The head of the Democratic Reforms Party, MP Asim Malazadeh, reported that since Azerbaijan regained independence, there has been a consensus between the leading political forces of Azerbaijan on integration into the Euro-Atlantic zone. Malazadeh says that Azerbaijan needs time to bring up a new generation of leaders and to develop democratic institutions in order for its system to be aligned with NATO. East-West Studies Center Director Arashtun Orujlu believes that the Azerbaijani authorities are deliberately avoiding NATO membership. The co-chairman of the Republican Alternative Civil Movement, Ilgar Mahmadov, says there is a gap between the principles of the Azerbaijani Authority and those of NATO. The Azerbaijani authorities do not support fundamental NATO values, freedoms of the speech, press, economic freedoms, civil society involvement, and so on. That's also the reason that Azerbaijan is refraining from the World Trade Organization membership, said Mahmadov. In his speech on the new cooperation policy at NATO Lisbon Summit, U.S. Ambassador to Azerbaijan Matthew Bryza said that the doors of the alliance are open to all democratic European countries, as well as Azerbaijan. Bryza added that the U.S. supports democratization processes in Azerbaijan and noted some achievements. He referred to the release of journalist Enula Fatullayev as one of them. The head of the EU delegation to Azerbaijan, Roland Kobia, noted that Azerbaijan's membership to NATO and the WTO is voluntary. MP Rasim Musabayov suggested that Azerbaijan could develop NATO cooperation without necessarily pursuing NATO membership. The complication with Azerbaijan's NATO membership is related not only to a lack of a clear position amongst the domestic authorities, but amongst NATO. NATO is not sufficiently aware of the problems in the country. However, in general, attitudes to cooperation with NATO are positive. According to social surveys, more than half of the population support integration into NATO, whereas only 10 to 12% support membership to the alliance. Azerbaijan's military cooperation with Turkey also consolidates relations with NATO. National and International Studies head Leyla Aliyev said that Azerbaijan was much weaker in the 1990s than at present. However, at that point, Azerbaijan was pursuing a much more directed policy on NATO integration.
Today, the Azerbaijan Popular Front Party Youth Committee held a press conference at the IRFS Press Center to discuss the conclusions of the 2005 to 2009 state program on youth. APFP Youth Committee head Abulfaz Gobanli said that the program does not reflect the real situation of the youth, because it focuses exclusively on nationalism, Heydar Aliyev's politics, the fight against AIDS, and business activities of young people. So far, there has been no information provided on the background of the program and its budget. The Azerbaijan Popular Front Party Youth Committee talked about the problems affecting young people that were not discussed, specifically unemployment, drug addiction, and education. The government does not provide any information on those problems. The government is preparing a new program. However, representatives of the youth opposition are not involved in its planning. Gobanli said that at present more than 200 youth organizations are operating in the country, but their activity tends to be fairly low level and very localized. Gobanli reported that his organization, which is planning to prepare an alternative youth program, has sent out an inquiry to the Ministry of Youth and Sport regarding the implementation of the youth program. If the ministry does not respond to the inquiry, they will go to court. Today, the Transparency Azerbaijan Anti-Corruption Public Union held a roundtable to discuss the achievements in the energy supply sector and the problems encountered by citizens in this area. The event, supported by USAID, was attended by representatives of the Baku Electric Shabaka Company, which manages Azerbaijan's power supply in the country, Baku City Housing Management Department, Ministry of Emergency Situations, the General Prosecutor's Office, and local and international NGOs. The participants spoke about the improvements in the service quality and the measures taken against corruption, which include the installation of new power meters, computerization of bill payments, better identification of the obligations of consumers and suppliers, improved appeal mechanisms, and increased transparency. The coordinator of the Anti-Corruption NGOs Coalition, Ali Mahmad Nuriev, brought up the problems in consumer-supplier relations in this sector. Assistance should be provided to protect the consumer in the power supply sector, he said. Those in attendance concluded that discussion between the government and civil society representatives can be very productive and that these measures should be continued.